Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Asha Sekhmet. I just am feeling a lot on my heart today, and I need to speak about what is happening in this world. I just know, based on intuition and as an oracle, if you were to strip modern humans of like the physical of what meets the appearance, the fake smiles, the excessive words, the material homes, right? The cars, the jobs. If you were to take all of that modern comfort away, particularly in the West, I am in the US, you would really see how nasty, hurtful, disgusting, corrupted spirits is walking around here that are teaching our children, that are bagging our groceries, or that are in law, who are responsible for someone else's judgment. I mean, we're talking about this day and time what the true matrix is. We are in what those biblical stories talk about, that Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what we exist in. It's like the extreme homosexuality of people who think that they're heterosexual, because we're getting further and further a distance from the opposite sex relating to each other. So I just want to ground this in, we're going to talk about the 7 hermetic virtues and sins that it came out of the ancient Egyptians, right? That's Kemet, right? So that's land of the black people. We know that is our culture. That comes from my background, my lineage. So I can definitely resonate with this. And then this was given to the world, and it's prevalent in all world religions and faiths on these concepts. Okay, there's different ways to talk about it. So let's start with the 7 virtues. So the 7 virtues is faith, hope, charity, strength, prudence, temperance, and justice. So I just want to talk about what this word means. And I believe I'm pronouncing this right. Prudence. So prudence means the quality of being wise, careful, and discerning, and acting in accordance to God's will. Okay, so that means that the more in alignment you are with who you're supposed to be born to be. When humans are born, we are born perfect. It is our traumas and pain that separate us from the pure love of the Creator. And then temperance is self-control. I've just seen a lot of this on my journey as a young black woman going through my initiations. And when I was working in corporate America, it's like the more you try to seek the divine internally, the more you agitate those people around you. It just tells you how much corruption and hatred that people have, that they're just carrying, and just like rotten, like on the inside, their spirits, because you neglect your spirit by chasing worldly things. And so it was just a lesson for me about the world and just how to conduct myself. And I'm naturally stepped into my higher calling and my Sekhmet energy, meaning I this world would be a better place without some people. That's true. this world would be a much better place. Yeah. So, you know, corrupt humans, they need to leave. They need to dissipate and be gone, right? And that's what's happening with the planet, right? We're seeing as times are shifting, it's time to get right with the creator. It's time to get right with the God in you. Or like that frequency, we're bringing heaven to earth. Like if you can't attain that frequency, then that's it. Like we're in the times of no redemption. Like we have access to information that was held sacred from the public for centuries. All of this information is public. So the information I'm getting this from is the 7 Hermetic Laws. You can order this book on Amazon. And now I'm going to talk about the 7 deadly sins. Now, when we talk about sins, this concept is talked about in church. The churches that I went through when I was younger and growing up, and like, you know, my experience as being a Christian that was taught to me, particularly, the concept of sin is taught very childlike. Like you are technically in some type of, you can be in some type of hell on earth. Like that is what that is. You don't just live a life and then based on that, then you enter to some type of hell because you did some no good deed. That's a very childlike perception of true spirituality and like what really happens, right? Because the creator is pure love. Like it wants us to align with what we're naturally supposed to be and our design, right? So it wouldn't make sense. Like, and actually that's the whole point of the human experience, is not to be this whole great thing, to be perfect like the creator. This world is meant for you to be very imperfect so that you can align to the perfection that's in you. It's constantly teaching us and forcing us to go back within ourselves, because we were born perfect. We didn't need anything in that mix. When I say that we're born perfect, I'm saying that the pure essence of what you need, the ingredients and the blueprint of what you need to live out your life as a human is already there. But what happens is over time, people get so out of alignment with their purpose and who they actually are due to their environment, upbringings, holding on to the past, pain, and then it just puts you further and further like a further gap. And I've actually come to this realization, the deeper that I've gotten on my journey as an oracle, I can just see it. Like I could just see how misaligned someone is with their purpose, even if I really don't even know them personally. Like when like us talking, and like I can just, like as an oracle, I can just see certain things. Not saying that I'm perfect or that I can see everything. I just, like, it's just certain things that I just have intuition about, and then I've just been reincarnating for a very long time. So now I'm gonna get on the 7 sins. So the 7 sins, these are technically just the things that hold you down to your devil-like nature on earth. This is what will get you to repeat lessons, right? That's still trying to get you back to who you are. That's the purpose of it. Like the purpose of going through human incarnations is so that you can evolve the soul. So if you, let's say like you're a child and you just don't know, right? Let's say you just don't know. Let's say that you're a little child and you touch the stove because you're just curious, and a parent just told you don't do that. Like that's the child is still gonna do it. They're gonna like, well, why? That's gonna make me more curious. Now I really want to touch it because, like, why can't I touch it? And then they touch it and they get burnt and then they cry, and then you don't do it again because you're like, you experienced it, right? So the concept can apply to this as well. So we have pride, luxury, wrath. Wrath is vindictive anger. Idleness, that's waste. We live in a very wasteful society. Gluttony, that's overconsumption. Envy and avarice. So avarice is an excessive desire for material wealth. When I was going back and reading this and preparing for this video, I literally just had a flash and was just like, every time I do this, I'm like, wow, if you held both of these in boxes, the 7 virtues and the 7 sins, which world is reflective? The 7 sins part. People being excessive over luxury, this life, chasing money and gluttony, overconsumption, all this stuff. The more money you have, the more money you want. Greed. And then waste. We live in such a wasteful society. I hate it. I hate it so much because it's almost difficult to not participate to some extent in the wastefulness. But if you have a consciousness and you do the best you can, it's all about the judgment of the heart and what you do on a day-to-day. Me doing this video is me trying to make the world a better place. You know, people can get this information and, you know, it can be helpful or not. Just, you know, I'm just gonna put it out there, but it's just a thing. Like I just can see it as so clear. Like when it becomes clear to you, it just becomes clear. So really, when we talk about the concept of like the Bible rapture or the end of the world, those kind of things, again, I only reference the biblical part because I grew up Christian. So like that was the most religion I ever got. And I never changed to a different religion out of that. I used Christianity and got right into spirituality. But even in those spaces, like I just see it today, like people who claim to be Christian, people who claim to be spiritual, and they do these things. And it's just like, why do you think you represent the Most High? Like, I understand, like, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. But, I mean, people, just are really out here with some real corrupted hearts saying that they're doing something, like, in the name of God. Or, like, that level of disillusion is just crazy to me because you really think you're something that you're not. Like, you really think that you're, like, a good person at night. Like violating people's beliefs and individuality, being able to think for themselves, practice whatever, you know, culture is in alignment with them. You really believe that you're a good person, like you sleep good at night, right? Okay. The other thing that I learned over time, and I'm still growing, I feel like all of these experiences have just continuously led me to where I am today. And like continuing to go. Like I'm just like, the more I just want to be done with this world. Like I'm so done. Like I'm so done with this world. People fight over anything. You want to find anything to divide on. Beliefs, religion, gender, sexuality. You want to find anything. And it's like, I don't care as much as like a whole like world thing as much as I care more about like my own community, right? Because you help humanity when you help your own community. So I just want to talk about on my journey as well, some of the information that I have received too about virtues is love, beauty, devotion, truth, grace. This was in the book, The Holy Grail of Orgasm, right? So we're talking about the beauty of higher, advanced sexual practices and intimacy, that is getting you directly connected with the creator through orgasm. And then, and focusing on peace, joy, and grace, right? You like going within to be able to do that. So I just did this just so that I can give this information. With the Maji Sister Wife Tribe, we practice polyamory so that we can minimize the balance between these things, right? Meaning that we're continuously striving to live in the virtues. However, we are human, so we want to minimize it, like this part of like being in our lower nature, right? So instead of sin, think of a lower nature. So your lower nature functioning and behavior as a human. So like we want to minimize that. We want to balance it so that at the end of the day, we know that like every day we strive to live ma'atik, we strive to live balanced, and that is the real lesson of this world, meaning that you find a balance between heaven and earth. You find a balance between everything that you're going through. I mean, your lower self does serve a purpose. So lower self, higher self. So we're talking about becoming more in alignment with who you are. And this can, acquire over a lifetime. But I just wanted to share that in our Sister Wife Tribe, we practice polyamory because practicing a family structure like that can help minimize the lower nature. When you have completely released all concepts of ownership of your mate for the commitment of a community being built, that is what minimizes that. When you're working in unison with a community for a common goal and a purpose, that is what minimizes that lower self. If you operate life as an individual, that's how your lower self grows and becomes this fested beast, because you're by yourself. Like you have nothing referencing you to hold, to see the sickness that's just growing. So, that's the beauty of community. That's why community exists, because ascension is not an isolated phenomenon. You would, compared to how much you can evolve with a community, would take you 4-5 times as longer to grow without one. That is very miserable to me. That's a very miserable world to me. So everything that we do with my Sister Wife Tribe and why we practice polyamory is because of that. We practice it because we're aligning with the community, and we're putting community needs over our own individual needs. So that is going to help you remain balanced, throughout your life, when you can move in a group effort like that, like group economics, right? Because we find ourselves in this financial slavery matrix. So group economics will be the number one reason. But a lot of people are just too selfish to even participate in something like that. So it's your life to choose. I'm just presenting the information. Okay, so if you're interested in learning more about polyamory, or learn about the Sister Wife Tribe life system that we practice, you need to be chosen. And then if you feel spirit led, you need to reach out to me so that you can book sessions, and we can continue from there. You can book on www.AshaSekhmet.com.